We talked offense. Questions remain. Bottom of the running back depth chart, bottom of the tight end depth chart. You know what? Let me rephrase that. I don't think there are questions on the tight end depth chart. It's just going to be a straight up
3 or 4
puzzle piece. How do you make it work? How many can you keep?
Yeah, that's it.
Wide receiver, I think there's a question at wide receiver 6. I think they got a couple weeks to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
O-line, man. Shout out to my guy Jamal. Just said he thought Stromberg played really well in that Jets game. Here's what I know is Big Luke, Allegretti, Biotish, Cosme, Wiley, Coleman, and Dieter are on the roster.
I agree.
So after that, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think you got to at least look at Chris Paul because they got him starting
dense.
at tackle.
Remember that? He's dense.
He's dense.
But the thing about it, and I mean dense means size, okay,
Correct.
and he's heavy. People can't move him around. But I think just looking at how Ron and Jack them put together a team may be totally different than what Dan does. See, Dan
and a slight change of special teams too, which usually impacts the bottom of your
special
roster.
team. If Dan likes safeties, he may have more safeties. Dan likes linebackers. If he thinks the linebacker could be, he may have more linebackers.
So let's go
which
through
may
it.
throw somebody else off.
D-line. Armstrong.
So you talking about D ends?
I'm putting the whole D-line together.
Okay. Armstrong, Allen Payne.
Which I just, every once in a while, my dyslexia kicks in. I just spelled Payne like Kanye. P-A-N-Y-E. The other starting end to me is Farrell.
Yep, Farrell's the other.
They just drafted Newton in the second round. He's on there.
Newton's on there for sure.
Fowler, who appeared to be getting some work off to the side yesterday, which I found kind of interesting, but we don't know exactly what was happening. So we're now Ridgeway's on there, I would say. You good with me writing Ridgeway in pen?
I'll take Ridgeway.
I know that's Jeff's guy.
How about Poto Aye?
Big Potato. He's been good. He's been getting playing time. Dan Quinn's called him out.
I'm not going to lie. Looking at that 79 on a defensive lineman just looks odd as hell to me.
I think KJ Henry. I
think Henry has played well.
He had the really good play the other day.
Yeah. Now, McGee. All right, that's linebacker.
That's a linebacker.
KJ plays outside linebacker.
What's that? KJ's a pass rusher. Yeah. About Federi Mathis.
I don't know about Mathis. I mean, that's the person that I think that's why I think Newton was drafted.
I do too. I mean, in 2 seasons we've seen very little. Johnny Newton, by all accounts, supposed to be a monster. Had 1 foot injury we knew about. Got here, had another foot injury. Now it's a soft tissue injury that's not related to the foot injury.
Normally they are related. They just don't say so. But when you have 2 foot injuries or you start favoring other stuff, you normally have
right, like tissue. The hip bone's connected to the leg bone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How many think you're gonna have total?
10 between tackles and ends. Pato E is a really interesting one. I think Andre Jones is a guy that they drafted that flashed last year in camp. Javonte Jean-Baptiste is a dude they drafted this year.
And I think those 2 guys also play special teams.
Sure. You better. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the 9th D lineman on a roster. Hell yeah, you're going to play special teams.
But see, that seems negative. The fact that you are good at special teams may get you on the team, and you can
100%
do something else that helps out. So it's more of a positive. I'm saying.
I'm with you. Now, linebacker gets very interesting. Mm-hmm. Wagner and Luvu, bang, done.
There. McGee, but will he have to be started on something else?
So here's
this injury serious enough?
Here's the thing where this gets complicated. The McGee injury, and we were talking about J.J. McCarthy the other day, right? How he has the meniscus injury, and you're not sure how serious that is till you dig in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gutting your basement, you don't know how bad the plumbing is till you rip the ceiling out. You know what I mean? McGee, I don't know, but if it is a meniscus, it would kind of make sense why we don't have a diagnosis yet, because if it's a ligament, you know. If it's a tendon, you know. But the meniscus is tricky, right? If they're going to put McGee to IR now, He's done for the year.
Yeah.
He's done. If they're going to try to sneak him through the roster and then put him on IR, then you have some flexibility. You can bring him back. You got all sorts of options. I don't know that it totally depends on the injury. I think judging the linebackers is pretty freaking hard considering the situation with McGee. I would count Pittman, who they just signed from Detroit. And dude, you can pick, and we didn't list him with the D line, and maybe we should have.
But Pittman is a linebacker, which they like.
Right. I got Pittman written down.
How many linebackers you think? 5, 6?
Typically, as roster construction has kind of shifted away from linebackers, like a lot of times you'll have.
You haven't said Jamin either.
I'm about to. I don't know where he gets listed, if it's with the D line or with the linebackers.
I think this year would be D line.
I think he's on there.
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception. I think fans are a lot harder on Jamin than necessarily this staff is. And I think what Jamin can do athletically excites you.
So who are you going to lean towards, the fans or the staff?
I got Jamin on.
Okay.
I got Jamin on. There was a discussion where you list him as a backer or as a D lineman. I don't think these guys care about that. I think they look at it
as I would describe people that I just think can play. He's a football player.
Sure. Yeah. But then you're probably so much depends on what the situation is, because he's probably so Wagner didn't play against the Jets. So Luvu had the green dot on his helmet. Mm-hmm. When Luvu went out, McGee did, and then McGee got injured.
Okay.
Like, you have the ability to go between Wagner and Luvu with the green dot.
But somebody else is going to have to learn the green dot if McGee's hurt.
You probably need another middle linebacker. Like, you probably need another potential true middle linebacker. You got Keandre Jones, who is Terp. I think he's a good counsel guy.
He is.
A guy I was impressed by was the dude Michael Walker. I think the linebacker prediction, the linebacker prognostication is really going to depend on Jordan McGee, and I kind of think we'll get an answer on that soon-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the testing is probably done. If there's surgery needed, it's probably getting scheduled. And if they have to put him on IR, changes a bunch of things, because then they're going to have another linebacker.
There you go.
But if McGee's good to go, then I think you go Wagner, Luvu, Pittman, McGee, and Jamin's on the roster as a D lineman.
Mm-hmm.
The DBs, I think they're going to keep. I think the waiver wire is going to be a busy time if there's veteran corners, because they got a lot of safeties, but the straight corners. I'll run through what I got.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me where you disagree. I don't think there's that much disagreement, frankly. BSJ, yes?
Yep.
Samerstill, yes?
Yep.
Mike Davis, yes?
Yep.
Emmanuel Forbes, yes?
Yep.
Jeremy Chin, yes?
Yes.
Quan Martin, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Noah I, yes?
I think so.
Percy Butler?
Yes.
Tyler Owens?
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Jeremy Reeves?
Yeah.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 10 DBs. Okay. That's typically what you keep. You have the undrafted kid. This is another name that I'm going to try to get right. Chig Anusium. You've got some guys that have played for them before in Castro Fields. Hugh Blue Kelly's a guy they signed late last season. Whiteside. The other kind of issue, for lack of a better word, just listen to, you've got 10 defensive backs. So when I say it like that, okay. You tell me corner or safety here. BSJ, corner. Mikey Samerstill, corner.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Davis, corner. Forbes, corner. Chin's a safety.
Yep.
Quan
is a tweener. Quan is a safety that can play corner and can play nickel.
Noah I, corner. Butler, safety. Owens, safety. Reeves, safety. So that breakdown, which is usually you want 6 corners, 4 safeties, is damn near flipped on its head. It's BSJ is a corner, Sammerstill's a corner, Mike Davis is a corner, Forbes is a corner. Noah I'll give you as a corner, and then depending what you want to call Quan.
So that's what, 6 or 7?
To me, it's 5 and 5, if we're being
But
honest.
the thing of it though, you have to realize is, as I listen to these guys talk,
You think they play 3 safety.
they don't have a typical, "Oh, we gotta go this way." No, sometimes they may have more safeties on their roster, other times they have more linebackers on their roster. So, at that point, if you got a guy like a Quan who can play safety or that makes it better for you because they wanna get the best players on the field. No matter what they look like, if you can play, they wanna play you.
I'm gonna have Landfill tweet out this piece of paper. This is our work. I'm gonna show the stream right now. Let all the streamers let me live. Here's what we got right now. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if you can read that or what. It's a bit of a mess. I think the specialists. Tell me if you disagree. Tress Way,
Yes.
Tyler Ott,
Way yes.
kicker X.
Yeah, X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kicker that exists somewhere on the planet. I'm going to add this up. Help me with the math. And I don't even know that we can add it up because you and I aren't sold on the running back tight end situation. 3 quarterbacks, at least 3 running backs, that's 6. I got you at 4 tight ends, that's 10. But maybe it's 4 running backs and 3 tight ends. Either way, you're at 10 between quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends.
Mhm.
Receivers, I'm going to 6, 16. O-line, they're going to get to 10, I would say, because I think there's a roster advantage. If you carry 10, it doesn't necessarily count against your active. So now we're at 26. Maybe they carry 9 and put some guys on the practice squad to get to 25.
Mhm.
D-line, Armstrong, Allen, Payne, Farrell, Newton, Fowler is 6. Ridgeway, Jamin is 8. And then Patui and KJ Henry are floating out there. That's probably going to be 10. If we're counting Jamin over there, Wagner, Luvu, Pittman, yes. What happens with McGee is a massive question. If McGee's back, then it's McGee as your 4th. If McGee's out, then is it Keandre Jones, Michael Walker? I don't know, but I'm at least going to count 4 there.
Mhm.
So that gets me to 14. Then you add another 10 DBs. That's 24. So maybe you can go with 10 O-line. So you're at 26 and 24 is 50. Tress, Ott, and Kicker X makes 53.
There we go. We'll see how close we were.
Well,
or how far we were away.
And injuries will impact everything.
Totally.
But, like, for all the screaming about who makes the final 53, where you really have decisions, I would say, are, like, 4 or 5 positions. Like, we could tell you 48 of the final 53 right now.